Okay, you're going now.
Okay, I'm on. All right, well, Randy wants me to tell one more story, so here I am. I mentioned a few minutes ago about this woman who prophesied over me that I was going to see the Sasquatch and the Ogopogo, and I told the story about the Ogopogo a couple minutes ago. So anyway, within, I don't know, months of each other of the sighting of the Ogopogo, as God is my witness, I know this sounds insane, but it's true. I was coming back from another trip. We were, my nephew, actually, and myself, were on Vancouver Island, and we were doing a mural painting. I'm an artist, a mural artist, an exterior mural painter, artist. And we were doing a big painting in Nanaimo in Vancouver Island. We had done a big mural there, and we were just finishing it, and it was somewhere in May. And we were coming back to Kelowna, and because by that time I had actually moved up to Kelowna. And anyway, so we were coming back to Kelowna, and we came across the ferry and came across the Lower Mainland, and we're coming through a place called Hope, which is at the end of the east end of the Lower Mainland, where you start getting into the mountains. Very, very mountainous area. As a matter of fact, it's the area where the name Saskquatch originates from. And we're driving along the Coquihalla Highway outside of Hope about maybe a half an hour. And it was probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon or a little later, something like that. And on that highway, it's quite a wide highway and it has a number of lanes on it. It has a concrete abutment on either side, so you can't pull over, and you can't pull into the middle of the road and turn around on the other side, because there was, at the time, a big concrete abutment in the middle, so you couldn't do that either. You had to drive for miles and turn off on a side road and come up, back down, and turn around way down at the bottom and come back up again if you were to stop, if you want to see something that you'd just seen, like I just did. Because we're driving along outside of Hope about 20 minutes or something, and I turned to the right, looking off the highway, and I'm looking down into a creek bed, or a dry creek bed that was probably, I don't know, maybe 60, 80 feet across or something, I don't know. And it was wide, and there was no water running through. It had big, sort of rounded, sort of semi-flat stones all over the place in it, and very grayish white and powdery kind of looking, as it looks like when there's no water running over those kind of rocks for a while. And there was a lot of sunlight breaking through the trees, and it was a nice afternoon, you know, So, anyways, I just kind of glanced over and I saw what I thought instantly. My brain was like, I wonder what that guy's doing down there in that creek. I mean, there's no car there. There's no way of getting down there. There's no vehicle, you know, for miles along the highway. You can't park here. So what the heck would a guy be doing standing out in the middle? And this was in an instant flash in my mind, and then all of a sudden, I literally had shockwaves going up and down through my body. I had cold and hot, and I think I even felt nauseous at one point. And I'm just sitting there, and I realized it caught up in my mind what I actually just had witnessed seeing. And it was a wide enough open area that, like, I had looked back and I'd seen this probably, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, long enough to really register. And we were zipping along, probably 70 miles an hour, which is the speed limit along there. And I tend to go a little faster than the speed limit a lot of times anyways in my brand new hot little truck. And I'm singing along there, and my nephew was sitting there. And I didn't say anything for a few minutes because I was just in so much shock as to what I had seen. And as we drove along, you know, a couple minutes later, I finally looked at my nephew, and he's about 15, 16-year-old kid. He's a missionary kid, you know, and a real straight shooter of a kid, you know. And I looked at him. I says, Nath, I says, did you? And that's all the words I got out was just, did you? I remember that very clear. Did you? Before I could say anything else, he blurted out of his mouth, I saw it, Uncle. I saw it. I saw it. I'm like, what did you see? He says, I saw the same thing you did. He says, I saw that thing standing in the creek bed back there, and he said it was a good, you know, thick, tall body, maybe 7, 8 feet tall, and you know, extremely thick legs and arms on it, and body, and very, very dark and hairy, and you couldn't miss it. And I shot a black bear right through the heart. I had a perfect shot. As a matter of fact, another one of my nephews, actually Nathan's brother, actually was standing behind me when I shot it a couple of years ago, and he took a picture of me right down the barrel of the 30-30 Winchester I was using, and took a picture of me shooting this bear, which was like that big in the distance, and I got right through the heart. And anyways, and I mean, I've had bear come right up close to me and all that sort of thing. I mean, you see this kind of thing, you know, there's no bear. It's standing completely bolt upright like a man. And it looked like a gorilla, and yet it had more of a some sort of a human stance to it. and it was fully there, and it wasn't a figment of our imagination or maybe a branch. There was nothing in that creek. It was so contrasting against that dry white rock that was around it, for like so much area around it, of all this rock, that you couldn't miss it, and it was completely there, full-blown animal. And it was as though we had caught it, maybe crossing the creek, and we came sort of up around this corner and up this hill, and I guess we just caught it, boom, and it didn't know what to do. It just froze, looked up at us. But for days after that, every time I thought about it, I literally had shock waves going through me. Don't ask me why. I believed in the Sasquatch for a while, but for a long, long time. But I mean, when you see these things, something happens. I don't know what it is. But I don't think you'd want to meet up with one of these things in the wild, like face to face, literally. I mean, it might be docile, I don't know, but the look of this thing was absolutely. It's like God makes certain things, like a black widow spider. You see it, it means stay away, don't go near it. You know that just by the very look of the thing. That's the look this kind of thing had. You know, this Sasquatch. I mean, I'm 1,000% convinced of what I saw. And not long after that, actually, there was a Sasquatch hunter guy in our area that heard about the sighting I had, and he came and interviewed me. And I'm reading one of his books right now, but he's written a number of books. He's been on Art Bell and different things like that. And apparently there's been numerous sightings of the same creature in the same area at the same time of day over a period of 10, 15 years. So, you know, I'm not saying it's the exact same animal, but it would seem that I guess maybe these things are a little bit more nocturnal, and maybe the beginning of their day might be around 5 or 6 in the evening or something like that. Possible. Why not? I don't know. But anyways, that's my story. Thank you.